Hola chicos, esta es la tercera lección de expresiones, I'm going to write it down, expresiones de maestría, right? This is our third and last installment. So, some other things you need to know how to say. We've gone over these. Watch the first one, if you're still confused. We've gone over these. Watch la segunda, the second one, video on this if you're still confused. Now, ahora vamos a empezar con la tercera, right? La tercera, the third one. And here are some common expressions, again, that will help you communicate easily. I've called these more specifically verb expressions. These are a little bit, again, sort of hard to categorize. All right, so our first expression is tratar de. And tratar de means to try to. And to use this expression, you need to conjugate this verb. It's an AR verb, right, in the yo form if you're using it in the yo form. So whatever it is that you try to do, this is conjugated. You add your de and add your infinitive. Again, these are all going to be followed by infinitives. That's going to be the key to these verbs, right? So, por ejemplo, you could say, yo trato de hacer ejercicios todos los días, right? I try to exercise every day. Or yo trato de comer bien. I try to eat well. So there's your try to, tratar de. Deber is a really good word. It's I can't really give it to you with a to. It's just really should, our word that's for should. And this is another expression. It's almost like try to, but it's should. So you could say, yo debo beber mucho agua, right? I should drink a lot of water. Notice here you have the yo form in both of these, the o on the end. This is an ER verb, this is an AR verb, but they have the same yo form, present tense ending. Yo trato de hacer, yo debo beber. This one has the de attached to it, this one the infinitive comes right after it. Okay? So bien, so dos verbos. El tercer, acabar de, perdón. And acabar de kind of means just. And I'm going to put quotes around it because it's not like he's just 5 years old. It's more like I just did something, right? So if you want to say, for example, I just bought a new car, right? You would say, yo acabo, again with the yo form of the verb. We have the de in this one. We have to include it. Comprar un carro nuevo. And that's expressing that I just bought a new car, something that you did relatively recently. Kind of a way to talk about the past without actually using the preterite tense, which can be a little bit of a pain. This one is so common, ira plus infinitive. I'm going to actually take another slide, and I'm going to conjugate this verb ir for you. Ir, we know, is the verb to go, one of the most common verbs in the Spanish language and also one of the most irregular. So, ¿cuáles son las formas de este verbo? La forma de yo es voy, right? La forma de tú es vas. La forma de él, ella, usted, va. Nosotros, vamos. Vosotros, vais. And then ellos, ellas, and ustedes, the form is van. And if you're having problems, if you're looking at these things, these subject pronouns and how these verbs are conjugated, and you're thinking, okay, how is this, you get the columns here, it's singular and plural. If you're confused about that, there's going to be opportunities to go over that. So don't panic about that. So here's our formation. I go, you go, he goes or she goes, or you go formal, we go, you all go, and they go. You need to know these. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. Super, super importante, right? So now that we have our conjugations, let's once again focus on the yo form. So we go back to our slide. This is the translation of this expression, ir a plus infinitive, is really, I always call it gonna. Because nobody says going to in English, we all say gonna. I'm gonna go to the movies. Let's use that one. So, or I'm gonna see a movie, let's say that. Yo voy a ver una película, the word for film, right? I'm going to see a movie or a film. So what do we have here? We have the yo form conjugation of the verb ir, voy. We've included this a, and here is our infinitive. So the expression is ir a plus, and what I didn't include here was infinitive, because it's ir a plus infinitive. Okay? Bien, vamos a seguir. ¿Qué más tenemos? Pensar. Now, you may know pensar as meaning to think, and it certainly does mean to think, but in the context of our mastery expressions, pensar is sort of to plan on. Pensar plus an infinitive, again, this is all infinitives, plus an infinitive means to plan on. So, you could say, for example, and this yo form happens to be a little bit irregular, it's a stem change. Yo pienso llegar a las 6. That's saying I plan on arriving at 6 o'clock. Notice in here there's no en like you would say in English. I plan on. So a lot of people want to say yo pienso en. This one just doesn't work that way. It's just the infinitive of the verb. So yo pienso llegar a las 6 would be I plan on arriving at 6 o'clock. Let's see how many more we have. We have 2 more. Saber, you probably know, means to know, but saber plus an infinitive, just like all these other ones, is going to take on a different meaning. It means you know how to do something. So for example, the yo form of this verb is really screwy. It's just say. You could say, yo sé tocar el piano. And what you're saying there is I know how to play the piano. Okay, so you don't need to say yo sé cómo. Cómo is your word for how. It's not necessary. It's just this one expression. All right, and that's a common one. And then empezar is our word for to start, to begin. So if you want to say I begin doing my work, or I begin working might be a nice one. This is actually empezar, and I left this out, so this needs to be included. This is empezar a plus infinitive. So you need to say yo empiezo a trabajar a las, I don't know, 7, a las 7, right? And that's saying that I begin to work. The other verb that can be used, can be replaced, is comenzar. You can certainly use that one. People like that one because it looks like commence, and that's also an E to IE, so the yo form would be comienzo. Okay? So, todas estas expresiones son verbos. Look, they're all verbs here, right? And all these verbs need to be conjugated in the yo form if you're talking about yourself. Muchas gracias otra vez por su atención. This is the third and final installment of the Mastery Expressions. Be ready to practice with these next time. Hasta luego. Gracias. Ciao.